is a must-win game for Young. Of course it is for Thornton also, but he knows that their number one, Anderson, comes up next against the American number two, Bill Davis, and you've got to fancy Anderson for that.
45.
So if Thornton were to win this, it would be seen as a Scottish bonus. Young knows that as the American number one, the onus is on him to get his team off to a good start. Whoever does win this game,
100.
and a draw is not out of the question, we must remember, will almost certainly propel themselves into second spot. So there's that incentive.
The draw doesn't really help either of them, John.
No, it doesn't, that's true, but
we
you have
haven't
to
seen
overcome
one.
that.
We haven't seen a draw yet. We thought we would under this format. It's a surprise that it has eluded us.
85.
In fairness, a draw would be a fine result if you could guarantee victory in your last game. That would probably be just enough to put you into the semis, but it's a
100.
big gamble. Win this game, forget the draw, go out and win it. Scottish supporters here in the northeast of England, they haven't had a million miles to come, and well, they're obviously hoping that there'll be a thorny problem for the
136.
Yanks.
Well, Thornton at the moment hasn't even topped up to 70 on his average. I think that might just take him past that mark.
100.
But
United
Young
States
there,
40.
looking at double top. Some very attractive smiles in the audience. We have fans who are weapons of mass distraction
20.
these days.
Of misdistraction, yes, indeed. Well, Darren Young didn't hit the double, but the comfort of knowing that he's coming back. And Rod was right, you know, Robert Thornton is an excellent
58.
player. He won the World
United States
Masters
Unified 20.
a few years ago and then came over to the PDC, and I think that
Game
hand
shot of the
injury
first leg.
has affected
United
him adversely.
States.
Young
Second leg is
manages to
Scotland.
polish off the leg,
Game
and the
on.
Americans get that early lead.
You see, those are disappointing darts, it must be said. Not really on the wire. And Young, solid citizen, gives the dart a fair bit of welly.
140.
Well, the Scots did manage to beat Russia yesterday, and it's nothing to do with the fact that Prime Minister Putin wasn't here. And 6-2 in fact, but then of course lost to Wales earlier this afternoon, whereas the Americans, they have to win this game, having lost to Spain earlier.
Yeah.
So they're both in the same boat. One of them,
123.
whoever loses, Dave, as good as goodbye.
It has to be said that nobody in the competition has had a
45.
comfortable passage so far. They've all had to work hard because we were expecting the English pair to dominate, and we all know what happened there.
Yes, the unpredictability of
100.
sport. And darts is no different. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? Yes. Well,
140.
Robert Thornton, banging form, would have had the lot there, but a good effort nonetheless.
Single 20 there will leave Big Daddy on double top, and Thornton needs his 156, and it's out of reach now.
26.
See, that's very poor, and Thornton wouldn't mind me saying that in fairness, because he knows it himself. Double 10, it served him well once. It's not at night. Oh, it's double 5 now for the big man.
30.
Well, an outside chance. An informed Thornton would fancy his chances.
130 then the shot. Must get the treble 20 to leave. Oh, that's the shot now. This might just lift him.
95. United States.
Yeah, shake of the head.
10.
You expect at least to hit the 25 when you're going for the ball at this level. Still down half an inch. And half an inch it is, and that's 2-0 to Darren Young. Good start this by the American. He's not having to throw brilliantly well, but he's average of 91. is a good 16 points ahead of this man, the Scot.
100.
Darren Young then, 37, comes from Whitehaven, the American #1, 23-gram Halex darts. Don't see many of those on the big time circuit anymore. 5 times the world champion contestant.
134.
Yeah, from the same state, Pennsylvania, as Bill Davis, his teammate, and Davis from Philadelphia, rather better known than Whitehaven, 2 words, and but both Pennsylvania based.
59.
Yes, the American dart scene tends to be in little patches, John, doesn't it? There's a school on the East Coast, there's a school on the West Coast, but there are vast reaches of America where they don't really play the game.
That's right, and where they do, it tends to be soft tip anyway.
Well, there's a darts bar in New York
60.
in Wall Street where you must play wearing a jacket.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice darts, Mr. Thornton.
177.
That's great darts. To leave 24, lovely to watch.
Yes. Like a drowning man, isn't he? Hanging on to the lifeboat. Double 12.
100. Scotland, you require 24.
Well, it's a good job he got that double 3 because he wasn't convincing with the other 2 doubles, but that one, no problem, went in. And I think after that 177, he just about deserved that. He's on the scoreboard. It's not game over yet by any means, but Young having the darts here. What a terrific start, Dave. That's putting pressure now on Thornton, isn't it?
It is indeed. And really complete opposites in temperament up there, one would think. But Thornton is really now, he knows this could be his last hurrah, and he's got to raise his game. But Darren Young looks merciless.
Yeah, ton 40 followed by ton 40. Now Thornton kicked off with a ton 40. Is he going to follow it up? No. Well, he's got the 2 treble 20s to just stay in touch. That's what he's got to do, and hope that he gets to the double first. Upped his average considerably, Thornton.
60.
Almost up to 90 himself now. That's a marked improvement, isn't it?
Yes, but Young is up at 95 very nearly. Maybe he's just found a little bit of form, maybe a little bit too late. Young on 161.
Well, Thornton
85
has every chance here now of levelling it up. He knows that he's going to throw second in the next leg because the only way he can get to the next leg is by him winning it. Double 10. Oh, a fraction outside, and what a chance for the American now to wrap it up at 3-1.
Yeah, had his chance there, and this is Young on 76. 16 would leave 40 double top, and this could wrap the match up with that dart, and it's just too high.
It is. It's just over the Canadian border, that one. Just north of the border. So it gives Thornton another chance. A fraction inside. Oh, too far. Double 5. Gotta get him done. Brilliant dart now. Pressure on. And the Scot is still alive.
And that's the dart that kept Thornton's hope buoyant. But it is Young got the darts here, and this now has again assumed the proportions that are critical to this game, and indeed for this match, and indeed perhaps, John, the outcome of the whole group here.
Yeah, I think a pivotal shot in this match. 2-0 up, Darren Young, and ahead in the third leg, and then Thornton hit that 177 to leave 24. Now he polished it off with the double 3, which is probably the most important dart he's thrown in this match so far. He's also won with a double 5, not convincing at his doubles, but nevertheless hitting that vital one with the third dart.
Well, we know that Thornton, like all his breed, can be aggressive and combative and prickly, and will fight. And he is now really turning it on, and maybe going to make his run and time his run. Suddenly a whole new complexion on this particular match.
Yes, and the game coming up. So the game coming up after this, Bill Davis, the American number 2, against Gary Anderson, the Scottish number 1. And Anderson, you've got to fancy to win that. Stranger things have happened. Davis is a plucky performer, but this leg isn't over yet, is it? Shouldn't be counting any chickens.
Look at the percentage of the checkouts, as neither of them are exactly anything to write to the Guinness Book of Records about. 22% for Thornton, 20% for Young. So it could still be nail-biting, it's still close, but Thornton has the edge here. And it has been a gritty fight back, you have to acknowledge that.
Oh, there's a 50, Dave, out of the blue. 50 gets 107, just like that after a disappointing first start. And if you can dig out scores like that, all credit to you. Now, you feel that this man, the left-hander's under pressure.
43.
Appropriate description, John. Digging them out. A bull and treble 19 to put him now within 2 darts of victory. You can see just how much it means to the guy from the Glasgow region, Robert Thornton. Now he really knows he's going to have 6 starts at least at 48, and he's turned this match around, and all credit to him. He's at one stage, it looked like he was down and not far from out.
That's right, that 177 did change things, and the double 3, the double 5, now it could be an authentic double 16 after getting the single 16. No, he's going for double top. Deliberate that. Oh, lovely marker. Fancy this. Oh, again, Thornton in form. Surely would have put that away.
He will be back. Not a very impressive leg from Young. Now these next 3 darts, so critical for Thornton, so critical for Scotland. Double 10. Got to tickle it down the barrel. Does so beautifully. The Scots are still way.
2-0 down. Somehow he kept his nerve.
And if Gary starts missing in the first leg and Bill nicks a leg and gets another one, then we could see that pressure come on Gary. But if Gary gets up there, starts hitting that treble like we can with that fluency, and he should start hitting the doubles, and like I say, it puts Scotland right back in.
Will Scotland be back in the driving seat? Let's find out. Commentary team, Don Gwynn and Dave Lanning.
And Scotland will be looking for a performance of malt whisky quality from their number 1 Gary Anderson here. Robert Thornton, we just seen in the last match for the first couple of legs, he was what? Well, Robert the Loose. Then he suddenly turned into Rob Roy.
Yes, he did. I thought you were going to say Robert the Bruce. But we would have been proud of it, Dave, certainly.
60.
And, well, he's got a good Ayrshire accent, hasn't he? So Robbie Burns comes into mind. I know he's from that side of Scotland anyway. Dumfries and Galloway, I think, to be exact. But yes, they're fighters, scrappers, and that will have done Anderson a world of good. Thornton winning, coming from behind. He'll go up there with confidence, kicks off with a 140, hits another one, and I really can't see Bill Davis, for all that I admire his pluck and his determination, and on occasions his ability. I think Anderson will have, it'll be too strong for him.
Yes, Anderson has got class. At times his temperament may be called to question, but he really should have far too many bullets for the gallant Davis here. One would think, but then we thought England would be firing silver bullets last night.
Yes, indeed. Oh yes, nothing is certain. You've always got to get that double anyway. No matter how well you score, we often have to remind people of that. And here we have Davis already trailing by 225. And Anderson on a potential 13-dart finish. He will want to finish this off and send out a message to the others in this group, and indeed to the Netherlands and Australia, who've already qualified for tomorrow's semi-finals. He gets a 13-darter, an effective start that by the Scotsman. He's from the other side of Scotland to his compatriot, of course. He's from the borders near Berwick-on-Tweed, which I know is in England, but he's about 10 miles north of there in a place called Bournemouth, though he's resident now in Somerset.
Well, he's averaging 108 at the moment. If he can maintain that,
44.
there'd be cause for celebration down Sucky Hall Street. The Scots, I know, will be riveted to this competition now with the old enemy out of the way. They sense, they smelled.
95.
It could be a famous victory here. It wouldn't be great for them to win the World Cup in England, but there are other nations who have similar forms.
Yes, that's right. Well, it's 12 months to the night, isn't it, since Gary Anderson was playing in that Jockey Wilson Trophy tournament. And, well, we know that what happened there. But he's obviously looking rather more confident tonight. And we have to remember, Taylor and Wade are no longer here.
45.
Well, Anderson at his very best.
140.
Almost at his very, very best.
Yes, with the departure of the big guns and with the World Championship literally just around the corner, I get an increasing suspicion, John, that both Taylor and Wade are going to come out blazing away like Big
95.
Bertha. That's old Alexander Palace.
Yes, it's not. It's only round the corner, so they won't have to sit and steam for long, will they?
121.
Lovely darts there. Wayward first, but picked it up with 2 treble 20s to leave 96. And Anderson an average of almost 109 here. Davis, dare I say, 30 points behind. Totally outclassed at the moment.
Yes, it is Anderson in his meanest
39.
demolition mood.
Scotland require 96.
Just what the Scots wanted. 96. Now, double 18 to rub it in. Double 19. Either double 9.
78. United
But he'll be
States
back
require
for
146.
double 9 unless Davis performs something extraordinary. 92 left. He went for the treble 20 for double 16.
Now Anderson, this is his
require 18.
little bit of a wobble sometimes. Not this time though.
Scotland.
He'll be happier. Cheer up. Got to punch him. That dart was spot on. Just when we were contemplating about a weakness in his game, he rammed the words straight back down our throats.
Now, if you're watching and you're wondering why Bill Davis is throwing first here, having thrown
60.
first in the previous leg, it's mugs away, as we call it in the pub. If you lose, the loser starts the next leg. And Bill Davis there had that momentary advantage. It didn't last long. He scored 60. Anderson scored 140. And really, did it make that much difference, Dave? In great form, Anderson. 107.06 is mean score. That's a 14-darter. 107.
Just the blowtorch performance that the Scots were looking for from Anderson.
Brilliant! It's the first, but my. How that crept in, I do not know, but he did it.
I just wonder, you know, as Anderson looks so well set here, if he can carry this form into the pairs,
60.
it's going to make
Well,
it psychologically.
4 points for Scotland, and they'll be thinking of perhaps winning the group. I mean, that's the next thing. In this sort of form.
100.
And as you're quite right, that shot then from Thornton, which turned the match around, 177 was it?
Yes.
And it just changed the whole complexion of this match.
And the most important dart he threw was the double 3. It went in. If that had missed, he might have lost that game, and we might have been seeing a different story. Though I still think Anderson, in this sort of form, would have won anyway.
Double 16 now to wrap the match up.
James
Oh, that's an immaculate performance, a powerhouse performance from Anderson. If he can carry that through into the pairs, then the Scots are really in business.
Go above Scotland, relegate them to the bottom of the league on legs difference. USA would be -2 and Scotland would go down to -2. Obviously averages would come into it, so maybe, I'm not absolutely sure, but it would be that tight. The fact is, if Scotland win this, they could go second in the table. That's how quickly things can change. And well, a friendly little nudge of the knuckles, and America get us underway in this last game in this Group B game. This last leg, I should say, between Scotland and the USA.
It's an impressive start from Darren Young. Can Anderson bring his singles form onto this throwing stage?
125.
See, he's still hitting 2 trebles. One way with dart, but no dart player minds that if you hit 2 trebles with it.
140.
The Americans seem to have a renewed determination here. Tight match. So much at stake.
60.
You know, if this did turn out to be a drawn game and the United States picked up those 2 points, they would be on 3, Scotland would be on 3, you've got Spain on 4 and Wales on 6, and that's why I suggested right at the outset that whilst a draw wouldn't be ideal, it wouldn't be bad either. At least you're still in there shooting, but it does mean the onus is on you then to win your last game.
So the Americans have started packing some venom here. They've had 11 darts.
100.
And they're down at a 2 dart potential checkout, 12 darts now. And if they keep their finishing powers going, the Americans ought to prevail in this opening leg.
81.
Yes, and they need to. Young, who was 2-0 up, of course, in his singles match against Robert Thornton, looked all over the winner. 9 scored, 72 left. So that's a great dart. Double 12 he wants. Oh, he missed the big double 12, and well, 69. Who's going to go for this? It's Anderson. Don't put it beyond him.
157 out of range now. Needs to tidy up desperately.
42.
Not good, has to be said. First leg.
First leg, Bill Davis gets the double 6. A thought that's occurred to me with Gary Anderson, and it would apply to other players who are what I call free-flowing players. He loves to be, I think sometimes pairs doesn't always suit him. He now has to wait longer than usual, and the whole tempo and the whole pace of the game is different. And sometimes players like Gary Anderson can be adversely affected.
Yes, and a joint point from Professor Gwynn. But the Americans are determined not to let the Scots get away here. They're 1 up. And once again, it is the Thorn that's finding the going prickly.
78.
6 games this afternoon. This is the 4th game tonight. 9 games gone so far. None of them yet drawn. No X's on the coupon. Is this going to be our first?
100.
Going to be close, this one. Remember, the Scots had the throw, but they haven't shaken off the challenge of the Americans.
Oh, what a great cover shot. That dart alone could make a big difference. Yes. A 188. Imperative that Thornton hits at least 1 treble. He has done. He's in 2. You fancy that Anderson will polish 48 off somehow. Come on, Bill Davis. Billy from Philly. Oh, he's going 2 treble 19s and then the ball. Oh, unlucky. 76 scored.
96.
Gary Anderson on 48. Might go 8 tops. And that's the way he's going. Can he hit the double top? Yes, he can.
Well, I said you fancy Anderson and polish this off. When it comes to 48, the mood he's in. Tempo or no tempo, slow tempo, fast tempo. When you're that near to finishing a leg, Anderson's your man.
Yes.
58.
Quick tempo, slow tempo. He quick steps his way. Strictly come darting with Gary Anderson. Oh.
That's a fandango.
Supremely confident at the moment, Gary Anderson. Always nice to watch an artisan at work when he's at his best.
They haven't shaken off the Americans.
No, and all credit to them. I don't know why there was the head shake there from Thornton, because those were good darts. This is a good match, this, Dave. This pair's good quality match, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed.
Both sides averaging over 100.
Which leaves Thornton a shot, and every dart now imperative. Bill Davis could desperately do with a treble from somewhere.
41. Scotland, you require 85.
He delayed, didn't he? And the slow now then tops for Thornton. No problem for
Scotland.
the man in the racing game they call Chocolate. That's the Robert Thornton who's probably watching this right now. That's his namesake, the dart player. And, well, he did enjoy that, Dave.
140.
Scots in what might be loosely described as a comfort zone now, because if they should lose this leg, they would still have the darts in the deciding leg. But I think that Anderson wants to get over it and done with as quick as it can be.
101, 105. Brilliant. Be unlucky to lose this, whoever does. Looks at the bottom, so it might be the American.
Yeah, it's been the best spell of darts of the night, in my opinion.
60.
But it has to be said, Thornton needed more than that then.
Oh, unlucky. Very unlucky with the last dart.
Room in the bed. Gone to the wrong side, needs to come to the left. What's he got there?
123.
His third dart was in the treble 20. Just one dodgy dart now could make the difference between winning and losing here. That's not dodgy.
No, that's a great last dart, and it gives the Americans a genuine chance of levelling up. And even though the Scots throw first in the next leg, if we go to the next leg, the Americans have settled for that, because it means they're still very, very much in this match. 62, treble 10. Now then, 12 for tops. This is a big, big dart, one of the biggest of this match, and a long way out. Compare that with Robert Thornton's double top. Compare that with Gary Anderson's double top earlier in this match.
But still, the Americans will be back. The responsibility now lies with Bill Davis to save them, keep them alive on double 10. Woof. Got to come up the bed. Got to come up bed. Oh no, this is awkward. Needs keyhole surgery here.
Pennsylvania! Pencil point precision. All credit to Bill Davis. Brought out the best in him, did that. What a challenge, and now Anderson kicks off with 123. We're watching some match, Dave.
Oh, they're blazing away, both sides. And you have to admire, that's a terrific response from Darren Young. Oh, what a match.
Yes, an old head on that particular Young's shoulders.
100.
And he used every ounce of experience in bringing out that 180. Keeps them in the match. Bill Davis just hit a vital double 10 with the last dart. Look at that. If the USA manage to win this leg, they go on to 3 points
60.
with Scotland. It'll be close for second place. I reckon Spain, Scotland, USA, only 1 point between them. But if Scotland win, they'll go into second
41.
place, a point behind Wales.
Disappointing from Anderson.
He gets a big score here. It will put the Americans in the driving seat.
100.
Oh, fabulous group this, Group B. It really is wide open, but the USA know they can't afford to lose this game. They're as good as gone. Will be gone. Scotland. Thornton there, he has always thrown his best, but when he's really needed to, he's provided. It's what team darts is about, isn't it?
Davis needs a treble.
99.
Oh, he gets it, Dave! Brilliant, brilliant darts! Oh, 97! He's got treble 19! Oh, fantastic stuff from Gary Anderson! Scotland are brave! They move into second